The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
First play, Wilson wants to throw it.
And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now it's Wilson.
Here's one deep for Pickens.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw again is Wilson.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A give running right is Chubb. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got Cleveland touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work.
And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a...
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels got changed to your mouth. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. Pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look
On the shores of Lake Erie here in the city of rock and roll. Our coverage of the NFL brings us to Huntington Bank Field. Justin Tucker has this all teed up. And here we go at Huntington Bank Field. To return, Jerome Ford. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Chubb. And good tackle, but a flag is down, likely against the defense. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. A 1st and 5 to begin this drive following the penalty. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Well, they took their shot immediately. Would have been cool if they connected, but no luck. 2nd down.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
3rd and short, it's Watson. He's on the move. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the 1st down.
Now the first carry for Nick Chubb. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Staying on the ground here with Chubb. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5. From the gun, Watson. He has the first over the middle. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Here's Jerome Ford for the first time this game. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Working from the gun, Watson. That's complete, David Njoku. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
On 3rd down, they'll go with Chubb. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. And that's good for a Cleveland first down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
1st and 10. Here's Watson. Got a man. It's Njoku. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. That'll be the end of one in this AFC North battle. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. We'll return to Huntington Bank Field after this. We're ready now for the second quarter. Browns in control of it. They're advancing it well as they face 2nd down. And he gets it forward, is still about a yard out of that. Giving that tackle to Kyle Van Noy. Call it no gain, maybe 1 at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. Here's a counter give to Chubb. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused. And they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Fourth and 3, drive on the line. They're going for it. Here's Watson. He finds him beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
So close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, to sit on the bench, to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
Chubb here on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Started a little slow, but we've arrived at the 2-minute warning. The Browns driving ahead. So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Throwing now from the gun. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
And this one had a brief chance, but not a good kick in the end. He misses it. And we continue to await our opening score of this ballgame.
Well, there's certainly never, ever a guarantee from that distance, but that's one you'd expect to be in your kicker's range. You hate to have a drive come away with nothing, but that's exactly what happened.
First snap, and Lamar's going to throw. This finds Likely. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Finds a seam down the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that'll be first down, Baltimore. Now here's Lamar. Gets this one to Andrews. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. In the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Jackson. He's got it. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
And they will score. It's a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens take the lead just before halftime. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Return starts at the 9. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. Looking to throw. He puts everything behind this one. And he's there to send that one away incomplete. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Ewart with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Lamar back to throw. Likely's got it right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
First and 10, here's Jackson. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, if you couldn't do it.
Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Jackson looking to throw. Andrews with the catch. And he's taken down at the 30. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
We give to Henry on the inside handoff. And he'll get this down to the 23-yard line before they stop him. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. Another run for Henry. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field.
And we just saw this movie. They stopped him again at the line.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
He'll throw it into the hands of Likely. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. It's a 13-yard pickup, and no worry at all on their side from being able to reach that marker on 4th down. That was impressive. They'll come up 1st and 10. Trying down the middle with Henry. And he drives this forward to the 6. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
This is Henry on 2nd, and he's brought down for a loss. We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Ravens ball as they try to keep that lead and close out a win. And the Browns add an extra defensive back out there. Nickel package, 3rd down. He's back to throw. Touchdown, Baltimore. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here. But his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his 2nd touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game? Yep. Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Tucker able to tack on the extra point. And the Ravens double their lead to 14. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Here's Ford on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Watson on 1st and 10. Gets everything he has under this throw. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Back to the air, Watson. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception. but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. Sticking to the air with Watson. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton with the pick. And the Ravens have the football back at the 45. Wow, an aggressive choice to go for it on 4th and that kind of distance. And an equally aggressive play in coverage to pick that pass off.
Yeah, that down and distance, you're not running it, right? Too far to get to the stick, so that defense had all eyes on the quarterback. They knew that pass was coming. And it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to execute it and go take it away. That's a big momentum swing for this defense.
Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Here's Jackson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
Escapes the pocket. Taken in by Likely. Spins out of one, and they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens have Likely locked up the win right there. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he can rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
Ooh, and he can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this 2-point attempt fails. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Needed a lot more to reach the landing zone, so the drive going to start at their own 40-yard line. And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick. Here's Watson, 1st and 10. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Watson. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Ravens are tackled just beyond midfield following the interception.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game with now 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind. And
now this is intercepted. That is back-to-back passes. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns will be set up great after a terrific return down inside the 15.
I know he started the play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, evaded obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. Would make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion. I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
From the gun, Watson. Oh, that's a tough one. Couldn't bring in the touchdown clean. It falls incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down. Watson looking to throw. Bails out of the pocket quick.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. He tries to sneak it, and he gets in. Touchdown! The Browns parlay the interception into points. Deshaun Watson with the touchdown. He finds his way in on the sneak. All right, Brock, wondering your thought here, because to me it felt like they already had a play picked out to go for it on 4th down if that sneak hadn't worked. Do you agree?
Well, by they, if you mean the guys in the booth on the sideline, sure. But the 11 on the field, that effort just showed you they were not thinking about anything else but pushing it across the line.
He's throwing for it! Nothing doing on that 2-point opportunity. A fail on the conversion. So even after the score, they're still down 2 possessions. Time not exactly on their side as they try this onside kick. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Even with that kick, there wasn't much chance of pulling off the comeback. And now that they've failed to recover, partner, I'd say this one officially over and done with.
They went out taking every chance they could, right? Swinging as much as possible, but you just can't have this big a deficit this late in the game. Pete Carroll likes to say, can you win a game in the 1st quarter, the 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter? Nope. You win it when it matters in this league, and that's finishing in the 4th.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. Forced out to his right. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
Caught for big yards on the right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. That is incomplete. Down to 13 seconds left. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know it's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Lamar throwing again. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. All right, one more snap to play here. And again, it's Jackson. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. And here's the timeout with just 1 second left on the clock. So we're going to have one more play left in a game that's already decided. Jackson's going to throw again. And they strike for a touchdown on the final play of the game. They didn't need it, but they will take it anyway. The Ravens make it a 3-possession game. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. So the Ravens will fly home with the win. And partner, I know you took down plenty of division rivals in your NFL days.